Good morning, bros. I don't know what the hell is about to go down, but I was about to do class and start hearing dogs barking. So anyway, I'm gonna flip the screen around. So if anything, I mean, you never know. There may be somebody come whipping around a corner right there, looking like something from Back to the Future. Or you see drug addicts like doing weird stuff. But what I want to point your attention to, and I'm going to turn the artificial lights off here. Wait. What do we have here? Oh, it was a winner. It was a winner. We had a winner. Where are you going? Where are you going? Anybody that's out here at 4 a.m. wearing a fucking face covering, wearing a mask, got somebody up to some shit. So I don't report people. I don't give a shit what you do. But yo, you come flying through here at like 90 miles an hour, you bet your ass these motherfuckers are gonna be. I don't give a shit what people do. That's the thing. Is like people don't even matter what people do. But those are drug addicts. See what I'm saying? They're not here to visit anybody. They're here to steal shit. And that guy's going right to the park. Well, he probably lives here. But I seen him huffing on something while I was driving. So, do you believe that people here huff glue? I thought that went out in the 70s, but it's like a thing. It was like a thing in Colombia too. Oh, I see. These are workers. Are they? Are they workers or are they recyclers? Look, I'll show you. This is like the... Look. These are drug addicts. These people go digging in trash for whatever of value, and then they trade it for drugs. I don't know what kind of drugs these people are taking, but I don't know. I don't know that level of poverty that I would want to do drugs, ruin my life, and be stuck out here on the fucking streets. Doesn't sound like a fun job to me. Look at these guys. All drug addicts. Every fucking one of them. All drug addicts. Hey, run away. Run away. So back to why the stars are not appearing in the sky. Look, I'll turn the lights off. Complete darkness. This is what it's been like every single night since the last time or the time before that I reported that I have not seen any stars in the sky in any parts of Mexico. To me, that blows my mind because we have the most amazing, open, skies. There's no clouds. There's not a lot of overcast, anything. Dude, this is so weird because it's 4 something in the morning here, 4:35. Look, I'm going to show you the other way. Look. Oh, you can't see them. They're going to get away. But dude, it's like the living fucking dead here. I came out here to see the stars. I see drug addicts just literally all night. That's what I'm talking about. Wow. So in the old days, before I got here, we had so many robberies, so many home invasions. We had kidnappings. I don't know, you guys, but my light that's in me is pretty great. So anytime there's any kind of bad news, people, I don't know why, but they automatically assume that, hey, if you are paramedic, firefighter, or whatever, you must be part of the government, so you're the enemy. So when they see people like me that are not part of the government, that are not working for anybody, and we're just volunteers, it's astonishing to them. So anyway, I went outside tonight just to go see again if there was any stars. And it doesn't matter if the moon is up or not. And I'm going to do this again tomorrow. And you guys tell me, there are no stars outside. Are there stars where you are? Are there stars in the sky where you are? Because there's none here. And I've been in different parts of Mexico. Artificial light or no artificial light. Mountains, everything has been darkness. Did you guys see that? There's not even a speck of a star in the sky. And you would see the North Star normally. Now, the moon has been red every single night. The sun going down has been red every single day. Rising red every single day. Which, by the way, is beautiful. I don't care. Like, there's nothing, no conspiracy behind it. It's an observation that I find to be very weird. Because Mexico, where I just moved from, is out in the forest. There's no artificial light out there, and you can look up and literally see just a sea of stars. And to go to Mexico City, which is all artificial light, and to be able to see stars when I was living there, which is like 3 years ago, right? Seeing stars at night. Here I am, middle of nowhere. You'd think with such little artificial light, you would at least see one star. There's none. Two observations that I had since I've come here is that someone is setting shit on fire virtually every day and night, all day long and all night long. And then, now this is not here, but the other town over there, they've been setting fire to the markets. They've been setting fire to the warehouses. They have been setting fire to these small, privately owned plants, like chicken plants, egg plants, anything that might be a private business that is supplying stores like Costco and Sam's Club. I don't get it. Now, what makes matters crazier is that the cartel is also shooting at the firefighters, going to put out said fire that they started. So you see there's a bit of a problem here. And the issue stems from corruption in high places between other leadership of the municipality and the cartel. So all of the workers are in the crossfire. All the paramedics, here's what they did. They shot the paramedics and then set the ambulances on fire, who are responding to a shooting that they did. See what I'm saying? So there's like no winning. None. No upside. So all paramedics and firefighters are basically just like, yeah, we're not doing shit. Because they killed one commander, and then they killed 3 firefighters, and then they killed 9 police officers. And as a result, the commanders for both police, the police chief resigned, and the guy who's in charge of civil protection and the firefiremen also resigned. And since then, I have not checked in. I don't care. I'm not interested in getting shot at because I'm just volunteer. I'm here because I have so much spare time. I could do your job in my spare time. No, kidding. No, I've just decided that I'm not helping people the way I used to, because it seems to me no matter how well your intentions are, you're always going to get questions. So I just decided I'm going to start doing stuff without telling anybody. Now you're going to see obviously what we do here on video, but as far as me doing philanthropy work or trying to help somebody out of a hard shit, I'm not helping nobody. And that's unfortunately because the stars are not visible anymore. And what I mean by that is that I used to have a lot of faith and hope in a lot of people here because, Mexico is one of these places that has what I like to call super trainers. When I was in the military, I was basically surrounded by the rock stars of the military. So I never went through special forces training, but I'm in the same place as the special forces people, and we're also forward deployed with the special forces, and we also went on missions with special forces in the middle of the night, just like everybody else, but never got off the aircraft, or if we did, it was for whatever, but not in any danger. So you follow me? What I'm saying is that I'm upset that there aren't more people, that even if I wasn't special forces, that they would be half as manly as a guy who wasn't special forces. The basic blanket folding military guy that had nothing spectacular. I always tell people I had nothing special or spectacular about my military, except it was very long. That is the only thing that, besides having good conduct medals and humanitarian, and I got a medal for heroism. I've been in war twice. So I have every bit of criteria. And it's all there. That's the cool thing about being a veteran is nobody can minimize your experience. No one can minimize your career. Your DD-214, which is the paperwork they give you when you get out, says everything about you. All right? That's everything about you. And the cool thing is that, let's say that you get in one of these federal programs, your potential employer will reflect your job placement or your student placement based on your veteran status. And if you have a veteran status, you've never used it, you get first place. You get first choice, which is good. Now I'm telling people to do one of two things. Veterans should, if you have good eyes, go to pilot school in Utah, which is being offered for free. Okay, so that's good, which directly correlates with the fire service and the forestry service and USDA. The second portion of that is the programs offered by the USDA right now. These are farming and beekeeping, and they're only for veterans. So that's why I say that the reason why most veterans that once they get out they don't know what to do should join the fire service, if nothing, to do something with themselves. Because in the fire service you might have a lot of downtime, you might be able to study, you might go on to medical school, go on to paramedic school, which is why I tell people never stop studying, because as the older you get, you're going to be around other people who are your age who are also getting older, and you're going to notice them getting dumber. People that you surround yourself with, if you are in the fire service and you're ex-military, you're surrounding yourself with people who have life experience. Now, if you're surrounding yourself with civilians who've never been anywhere and never done anything and have never had a challenge, like the military or basic training, or maybe they were a cop or National Guard, if they don't have any of those schools where they have had to train hard for durations of time, there's really not much that you're going to have in common. So when I go outside and I see that all the stars have fallen, is sort of a metaphor for my military career. And now that I'm civilian, I see that the stars have all fallen. I think it's now up to 52 guys who've died from the self-deletion from my unit. 52 guys. 19 died in one day. But it's the people who we were stationed with after the fact that all kind of lost hope in life and never left the desert. That's where they still are. That's where their minds are. In fact, I'm still trying to piece together myself. And it's taken a long, long, long time for that. But what is the aftermath of losing all your stars in the sky? When you lose all of your stars, you have no heroes more. You no longer have heroes in life. You have been blackpilled to the whole idea that we're going to ever recover. And I don't think we are going to recover in the way that we see as recovery. See, the reason why I think that way is because just like an ant may look up and see us as giants, we would look down and see them as, teeny tiny stupid animals or insects that we can't communicate with. I see myself in the same light in comparison to under this empty sky, which God created, and He created me, but I cannot communicate with God. God sends messages, but they're all encrypted. Every time God speaks to me, for example, it's not some fucking voice from some space. It's some circumstance that is forcing me to do something else. See, this is the weird thing about communication with God. He has a great sense of humor, but at the same time, when He's going to communicate with you, it's not direct. It's like all these scrambled, clues, which I don't quite understand. Like, is He an alien? Are we speaking in Braille here? So the way that I was taught in the past is that we pray to God, and then He responds to us through reading His Word, or through messages, or through other people. So if we start distancing ourselves from people, then we distance ourselves from God. So if God speaks through people, and we distance ourselves from people, then we are distancing ourselves from God. So when I say where have all the stars fallen, it's because the people that I thought were so admirable turned out to not be. And all of those stars have fallen in my eyes. All of the stars around me that I believed to be, special people turned out to not be so special. And it's unfortunate because we can't trust anybody. If we were in the 1,000 years of the devil being in charge of the world, I believe that, because it makes all perfect sense of why is it that only a small percentage of people actually want good for other people. The rest are just envious, haters. And those people may have at one point had stars in their lives too who have fallen. And that's where I am today. Parents, family members, they may have been stars in your life as well. All have fallen. And what's great about this is that now that we can see with our eyes these things that I'm referring to, you cannot unsee them. I'm telling you that there's nothing that, it's astonishing to me that we are where we are and we are experiencing all this. This is the craziest time of my life. I've never experienced such a thing. As a matter of fact, the things that they're doing in present day, as far as like civilians all the way to government, is stuff that we were all programmed to be afraid of. We were always afraid to, let's say, criticize the government, that the FBI or SWAT team might show up on your door, and put you in jail indefinitely, because that's the way Eastern Europe was. If you spoke bad about the government, 1 in 3 people in Eastern Europe in this period of time was a spy for the government. So 30% of the population was a spy for the government. So it didn't matter where you were in Eastern Europe, if 1 in 3 people was a spy for the government to snitch out on people like you who had opinions about the government spying on you. Okay? And then there was another part of it that before the promises of the government was that they would give you food, a place to stay, and nothing will cost you nothing. They didn't tell you is that the place to stay that you had already paid for with your taxes, and the food to eat was state-sponsored farming, which basically means that unless you sell to the state, you don't make any money. And when they started discovered that the farmers were keeping everybody fed and stable, when instead what they ended up doing was rounding up all the farmers and putting us all in the gulags. The gulags are prisons. And so They said that the farmers were greedy and that we were withholding food from the population. That was just a lie from the government. Another lie, because they wanted to destroy. And this makes no sense to me at all. It's like, what, rational human being in the world would want bad stuff to happen to other human beings? It just comes down to where we are. There are no stars in the sky because they've all fallen. All the stars that we held dear, that we used to think were so important and edified us as human beings, and we also looked up to politicians at one time too. We believed in politicians. We saw Ronald Reagan. We heard him. Wow, he's so smart. We were all just a bunch of dumbass hillbillies. All of us are just a bunch of fucking cavemen. And the last civilization that was here, which was a very real thing, I don't care what anybody thinks or believes, I actually own one of the buildings that the Smithsonian didn't completely destroy. They did destroy a lot of the tunnels underneath with dynamite. That's what I was told by literally the neighbors. There was like some men came here and they went down the tunnels and they blew everything up with dynamite. That's why I have a cracked wall in the side of my house. So that has been an issue. That's why I haven't been living there. That's why I haven't moved from here to there yet. It's because why in the hell would the Smithsonian Institute, it's like historical history, has been systematically collecting artifacts and destroying the buildings in which they're collected? And I'm moving into one of those. So I have my motives and my reasons. I just like history and I'm curious about that stuff. So if you go out and you see stars in the sky, thank heavens, thank your lucky stars, thank the Lord, whatever. I appreciate you guys showing up for today. It's Monday, I think, and we got so much to do this week. You got to transport tons of materials going to the castle, and I look in the sky and I say I'm the only one. Remember that. If you don't see any stars in the sky, it means you're probably the only star. Anyway, I'm the Professor and I'm out.